मेरी सखी मोरे पिया घर आए, बाग लगे इस आंगन को, भाग लगे इस आंगन को, अपने पिया की मैं बल बल जाऊं, चरण लगायो निर्धन को, मेरी सखी मोरे पिया घर आए. None of this was planned. I didn't get up one morning and say, I need to set up an organic farm, or what do I do with my life? I had not done anything like that. I'm from an urban family. My father was a doctor. I grew up as an urban kid. You know, I began so raw. I had to wiki how about everything. And I had some very able conspirators. I really owe it to them. It was the day we decided to adopt a horse. We found her in a shelter that belongs to a good friend, and there were so many horses there, and she was really worried about them. But then when I went there, a few more followed me, chewed my dupatta. It was a kind of a bizarre situation because we came back with 4 horses. One of them is Kaveri, who's a mule, and she is rescued from the Kedarnath flood. So that's the first 4 animals that walked into Beejom. Then my husband, he's my co-conspirator. He said, let's find some land near Yamuna. Then I said, oh, but we have a horse and we have 15 bighas. Now what? I said, I'll grow food. And everybody in the house laughed because until then I was killing artificial flowers in the house. I had no green thumb to anybody's knowledge. So it was so random, my beginning. Then I started researching. And then the next 2 years became like a self-funded research project because there was so much to learn. What is organic farming? I knew it has no chemicals, but there was so much more. Then there was permaculture, no-till, Fukuoka, and biodynamic farming, and Subhash Palekar ka zero-budget natural farming. I was mind-boggled by the amount of information. I would learn so much. And the elders who were in our farm, who had joined us, those chachas and taus of various people, they were great resources for us. Because I would ask them, ये क्यों हो रहा है? And they'll say, हमारे ज़माने में ऐसे हम खेती करते थे. And that was really big for us. Because then I realized, oh, okay, that means we've lost our plot. So a lot of what we talk about today, I learned actually on the ground, on the farm, with the companions that I had, who were all villagers and farmers. And because they came through various sources, we had farmers from 7 states, which was like a lot of diversity and a lot of knowledge in one place. So that's how this farm actually, accidentally, serendipitously, organically grew. So gradually, 15 bighas became 25 bighas, 25 bighas became 40 bighas, because we learned to grow more and more and more food. So we follow some rules here while growing food. It's our own pillars. One is definitely diversity. I think monocropping is one of the serious problems we have. And initially, soil building. Initially, this farm, for instance, is 3 years old. So this is our biogas. A lot of our slurry is used for this soil because this soil needs that help. It's chemically farmed soil before we took it over 3 years ago, right? So, but after a few years, you'll see there are so many earthworms in the soil because we don't till. All this is no-till, by the way. And as the soil heals, our need to intervene with Jivamrit or fertilizers becomes lesser and lesser. And then we intercrop like this. I mean, what I mean is, we have a, agatti here, which is Sesbania grandiflora, that is a nitrogen fixer. And this is some sunflower here. There's so much diversity as you go along. we also do companion planting is when we actually plant a lot of groups of plants in a particular guild or a particular way together so that they thrive because of each other. We also do green manuring, which means we populate a field with a legume which will nitrogen fix that soil before we plant a very big crop that will take away. So these are old sciences, there's nothing new. These are all things that our farmers have done from ages ago. I feel nature should be allowed to take over, and I find it's the best teacher. It takes over, and and we are all just pushing we are working on the sides to help. Creating microclimates, building soil, mulching, because bare ground means more water, bare ground means nutrients going away.
हम जैसे हल्दी लगाते हैं, हल्दी लगाने से वैसे कुछ उसके लिए खुदाई ट्रैक्टर से जोताई करवाते हैं, उसके बाद हल्दी लगाते हैं। अगर हल्दी में अगर घास आ गई तो घास के साथ साथ जैसे नराई करते हैं, नराई के साथ साथ मल्चिंग करते हैं। तो क्योंकि अगर मल्चिंग कर दें हम साथ में तो दोबारा घास उगने में थोड़ा टाइम हो जाता है। और ये जो खेती कर रहे हैं इसमें आयुर्वेदिक खेती बोला जाए, जैसे इसमें कोई खाद का एक बूंद नहीं पड़ता।
I think what we don't have today are indigenous seeds. Indigenous seeds give you slightly lesser yield, but what they do is they give you seed freedom. Because every time a farmer sows it, the seed he gets from it, he will sow back into the soil. But a hybrid seed, what you sow, you may not get actually you can't save the seed and grow it again because you may not get actually what you sowed before. A. Two, hybrid seeds give lesser yield the next time around when you sow it. So, which means every time then for a new crop, the farmer has to buy the seeds again. Now, this is an added cost on the farmer. He's already buying fertilizers, he's already buying pesticides, and now he has to buy seeds also. Now, if he has to do this repeatedly, he goes into debt. Because on top of that, if the crop fails, you're talking about climate change, you're talking about sometimes him not being able to sell or not finding a market or whatever reason, then he goes into debt because he's already put money into it. It's an investment. At the moment, we grow about 200 crops. We can't say we're successful with seed saving all. It's a trial and error thing, and I personally would grow the same thing for 4 years before I decide that seed is viable. So seed saving is like a tapasya. In 2018, we had bought another patch of land in Hapur in Bulandshahr. It's a 7-acre land that was just a ganna field. It didn't have a single tree. We cut everything, sold it, and started planting. I think I used to just dive into something, and that's exactly how we dived into this food forest project. At the food forest, we have about 60 varieties of fruits, probably 30-40 varieties of native trees, and a whole host of seasonals that grow under and perennials. We grow a lot of tubers. We grow diversity. That's the main mantra at that place because that's really how much can grow in this region. But around us, you can only see sugarcane, paddy. In winters, there's wheat and mustard. So we need to, I think, encourage farmers around us to grow more kinds of crops. And it has to be incentivized. We have to incentivize people to be able to do this. What we are showing at the food forest is that all this can grow here. It's more like an exhibition or like a library of diversity. The only reason why we do cattle breeding of desi cows is because just like any other things like plant varieties or anything else or seeds, our biodiversity of animals, indigenous animals, is also disappearing. We have 11 breeds of cattle. We have the Gir, Sahiwal, Tharparkar, Red Sindhi, Kankrej, Rathi, Malnar Gidda, Kangayam, Vechur, Haryani, Hallikar. And we have the Swarna Kapila. So we have a lovely assortment and diversity of cattle. We took a policy of no dairy, and what we did was we started a new project. I was thinking, what is our alternative? What is the other product the cow gives? And I said, dung. Dung is the product we should be looking at. Why? It is 365 days, 24/7. And if there is so much conversation about healing soil, I think this is the first step. Our farm generates about 1,500 kilos of dung a day. We make vermicompost, and that vermicompost is packed and sold also. We make Jeevamrit. Our entire fields are open fields. Our food forest has become on its own. We don't need to fertilize it or use any pest repellents, but we have open fields, 17 acres of open fields, and we have about 4 acres of vegetable fields. So these fields we fertilize using a liquid fertilizer called Jeevamrit, and that is amazing because it's able to replace urea and many other kind of chemical fertilizers, and our vegetables grow so well. What else does it do? It can make wonderful products with it. We are now making cob bricks with cow dung, and I'm really hoping to make a structure out of it on the farm. Making dung logs, making dung pots, making dhoop, all these activities around dung can promote a small livelihood. I think there is no limit to our innovation. Humans are able to innovate, but we should innovate in the right way, and we should always innovate keeping in mind that we have only one planet. What is beautiful is how the community grew around us. Somebody's chacha joined me, somebody's tau joined me, who became proud spokespersons for our project themselves. And if you count every rooster, hen, bakri, bhed, we might have about 400 animals at Beejom. They are very much part of our larger community. And as the animals grew, the animal carers grew, people started visiting our farm. Our farm became a bustling place. We generated an economy around our farm. So that's the beauty of community. Strijan is an example for us because for me, the women matter a lot. So this group of women, they're women farmers who are also utilizing their skill sets, and we have created this group where we are teaching them entrepreneurship, to make their own bills, to price stuff, talk to customers. And when I say teaching them, they're shy and they're not very sure of how they should build that narrative. So when I say teach, please, it's not like I think they're far more talented and qualified than some of us are. They make stuff, they go and sit in farmers' markets or even in our own markets within the farm. They run their own stall and showcase what they can do.
जब से मैं जुड़ी हूँ इस सृजन से, तब से मुझे यहाँ काम करने से बहुत ज़्यादा लाभ भी हुआ है। मेरे घर में बहुत तरक्की हुई। हम बच्चों को भी खूब अच्छे स्कूल में पढ़ा पा रहे हैं। बाहर निकल के आओ तो हर चीज़ नया नया देखने को मिलता है। गांव में क्या है, कुछ नहीं, खेती करते हैं और खेती पे घर पे रहते हैं।
I really feel we should hero these people, our women farmers. Region is just a stage for them. The good food movement is about raising the bar about what kind of food we bring to our table, how we bring to our table, and in the process, on the way, how it impacts people. That's very important.